Hello, hello, hi, gigpreneur. What is going on? Welcome. Happy Friday, no, Thursday, and hopes that you squeezed more out of your day than the day squeezed out of you. I am Sean Azimi, and I am somebody who went from working 14 to 16-hour days in the office, 6, sometimes 7 days a week, to being unemployable because of my pancreas. Now, I help folks with their impact and their income, and we do it all on social media. So if that is something you like to get on with, you like to start a side gig and you like to use online and social media, and it all starts with a 5-day free try at it. Not too shabby, right? Give it a go. Let's go. And if that is you, drop the word five in the comments. And I got you. After this. Um, Tonight is going to be an interesting one. I've said this many times that we are actually live on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, and for the first time on LinkedIn. What? So if you are my LinkedIn viewers, welcome. This is first time I've gone live on LinkedIn, and the reason why is because Instagram is down. I cannot go live through my streaming service on Instagram, and I'm going live on 4 platforms at the same time. So Instagram is out, therefore LinkedIn is in. Let's go. And so I have a very interesting one for you tonight. Dolly, what's up? I see you. What is going on? I got a really good one for you tonight. So I don't know if you've ever been called lazy. Have you ever been called that? Um, so I thought about this question because I know I was going to ask you guys this question. So thank you. I actually haven't posted anything all day because I just got back about a couple hours ago. I was with my mom all day. We had a couple of appointments we had to go to and all that good stuff. So I haven't even been on social media today all day. I didn't do a skit. I didn't post my Bible scripture. I didn't post anything. And I'm just barely getting in doing my live. So yeah. So I don't know if you've been called lazy yesterday. That's funny. I know I was thinking about this question, and I thought about like the relationships I've had, the jobs I've had, the people I've had in my life. If anybody's ever called me like lazy, um, I didn't come up with a name. Anybody that I can think of has called me lazy. Now, here's what I will tell you. Nobody's called me lazy to my face. Only the good Lord knows how many people have called me that behind my back, right? Um, oh my God, what a good question. What's been your favorite year of your life so far? Wow. Who asked that question? We sure. Um, that's a good question, bro. Bro, that's a good question. I've never been asked that question. I'm gonna have to think about that and do a whole live on it. I really like that question. You win the question of the day contest. Very nice. Wow, you made me think. That rarely happens. I'm 21. I'm so confused about the future, bro. Dude, follow me and I'll follow back and we'll connect and we'll talk. And yeah, I got some mileage on you. Thanks for the follow, bro. I'll follow back for sure. We'll connect. I'll shoot you a text. You can even text me. My phone number is on my profile. It's my real number. It's not like a Google Voice number. It's like my number. Um, Yeah, dude, that's a good question. I got what I call life mileage on you, right? I got a few gray hair. That's a good question. What's my favorite year? Oh, I'd have to think about that. I have to think about that. That's a good question. I really like that question. Okay, so I'm a Virgo, and if I, my ex said, my ex always used to say, if you like something, you literally repeat, you like this thing, you like this thing a million times. I never noticed it until like she mentioned it, um, and I do. That's kind of cool because I keep repeating, I like that question. Anyway, let's get back. You're gonna like this story. We shall. I like that. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody has called me lazy to my face, but I could, I could think a couple people would have called me lazy many times behind my back. I could see that. Like I could think past, and I laugh at it. I laugh at it because I chuckle at it because that's kind of a strange thing to call me lazy, right? Um, but anyway, the question is, are you lazy or are you waiting? Are you stalling or are you waiting? Let me give you a little story. There's a boy in a little town, and everybody called this boy Lazy Larry. I wonder why. Because he was a little lazy Larry. And this kid had his dad had a big farm, and his dad always thought about the future and thought, what would happen if something were to happen to me and Larry couldn't take care of the farm? What would happen to the family? So this was always in the back of his mind, the dad's mind. Well, he started off the kid with a small job. He said, hey, first job is to for you to scare the birds away from the farm. And so Larry, though, everybody thought he was lazy, but he was a little too smart sometimes, right? So this was like the first job the farmer dad would give their kids in this town or in this village, if you would. And so you'd see kids usually running around with a stick and trying to scare the birds away, but not Larry. Larry figured out a different way. Larry had tied ropes to different poles at all around the farm, and the movement of these ropes would scare the birds away. And he would lay back in the sun and watch all this. Smart, yes. Lazy, maybe yes. Well, this went on until the next year in the summer, where his dad wasn't feeling too good. In fact, he fell ill and he passed. Well, here comes lazy Larry trying to take care of the farm, and wouldn't you know it, he didn't know anything about farming, and basically everything died. And one day he's sitting and he's just really sad about what happened. And he's thinking to himself, how the heck am I going to? I'm responsible for the family now. How am I going to make this up? How am I going to provide for this family? I should have. Lazy Larry was thinking maybe he should have. Well, amongst all of this, there is a announcement in the village, if you would, that there's a three-part competition, and anybody who wins this wins a whole chest full of gold. Larry comes up with a plan. Says, you know what? This is the answer. This is the answer I've been looking for. This is the opportunity for me to provide for the family and make up for the lost farm. So he decides to sign up for this. Well, the whole town, the village, everybody finds out that lazy Larry's in the competition and they start making fun of him, laugh at him. Like, lazy Larry in the competition? Okay. Well, the first contest comes up and it's to cross this river, right? And everybody starts to take off their clothes and start to run, across this river. And the river is pretty quick. Well, not Larry. Larry walks back a few feet back to the forest and comes up with a made up raft and a pedal made out of wood. And he's just kind of cruising across the river to the other side. He actually places third in that competition. And everybody's like, what just happened? Well, it comes to the last contest. And the last contest is what they're going to determine who wins the entire race. Now, before I give you the last one, it's interesting because you can take a look at something, right? And you can have a completely different view until somebody tells you a different angle, and then you can have a switcheroo, right? It's kind of interesting. So, the last contest is to push this giant cube of coal or what have you, of stone, down a kilometer down the road. And everyone gets to pick one tool of choice. And most people pick the rope, and then kind of tie the cube, tied the rope around the cube and just kind of started to pull, right? And Larry. Larry picks up this small little hand knife. And everybody's like, what in the world is this kid going to do now? And what he starts to do, he starts to carve out this cube into a big, giant circle. And then he guides it, pushes it down the road to the 1 kilometer finish line. And he wins the contest and a chest full of gold. All set for the fam bam. Great little story, right? Well, you may say, yeah, Larry, yeah. Well, lazy Larry didn't win because he had like he had the muscles and everything else. No, that's not why he won. You may say he won because he was smart. No, not really. That's not the reason. He was smart, but that's not the reason he won. See, he won because he had a motivation. His why was different. See, he had to save the family. And the way he would do it is to win that chest of gold. See, that chest of gold didn't come knocking at his door and say, oh, by the way, I know you were having a rough day and you wanted this, so here you go. No. An opportunity showed up to win the chest of gold. An opportunity showed up with all kinds of obstacles. Lazy Larry, he doesn't know anything about anything. Before, He didn't have a reason to save the farm. He hadn't understood that. He didn't get it until it hit hard. Maybe until he hit rock bottom. And then he comes back and he has a why, a motivation, a reason. And it doesn't matter what the contest is all about. It doesn't matter each of the competitions. It doesn't matter. He didn't even know them. He did it because he had a why, a motivation. So, if you say no to an opportunity, if you say no to a path, you may not see it as an answer to your problem. You may not see it give you a motivation. And so that's the truth. You may not see it as an answer to your problem. If you get a cold and somebody says, you know what, have some herbal tea with honey and rose water, you'd be like, whatever. You may not see that as an answer to your problem. Therefore, there's no motivation to drink the herbal tea with honey and rose water. Simple as that. Now, some of us may have been called lazy to our faces. Some of us may actually maybe lazy to your face is maybe better. I don't know. Maybe they're both bad. If you give you that kind of a vibe, they're probably both bad. You know what I mean? It's like it sucks. Thank you for the follow. I will follow back Rose and Shine. Very nice. So yeah. So try to find the answer in the opportunity before you say no. Think about that. There's an answer in there. You just have to look for it. The answer is covered by the hard work and the obstacles. That's what the answer is covered by. Like if you got it, like you know what I mean? You gotta push through the hard stuff, obstacles, the I can'ts, no ways. You gotta push through that stuff. And you're like, ah, there yes, there's the answer. Gotta go through that stuff, push that stuff away to get your answer in an opportunity. It's an opportunity. It's not a package. It doesn't come up with a package. You're not going to get the chest of gold unless you go through the river, got to go through the competitions, the obstacles. You got to go through that stuff. And guess what? You're not the only one. Now, here's the good news. In the real world, I will. That's what I do. Actually, I'll give you an answer for sure. I'll connect with you. I'll hit you up. Oh my God, I don't give you an answer. Every choice is an opportunity. Yeah, um, yeah. You know, and here's the thing: the good news in the game of life here, because that was for Lazy Larry and the village. In the game of life, there's not only one chest of gold. That means there's plenty. There's plenty of chests of gold. There's plenty. You have to come from a plenty mindset. You can't just come into the world and say, well, there's only one person who's going to get rich in this world. It's not the case. See, there's so many. They're all available. The universe, the world, does not run out. That's not how he created it. He didn't say, oh, you know what, we're going to just create 15,000 of those chests full of gold. The rest can just like live in the streets. It's not how he did it. It's not. You show me where it says that. It doesn't. This is plenty for everybody. So the whole goal is this. You got to find your why. You got to find your motivation. Do you have something that just burns you? You know, you got that little thing inside you, right? You said, how do you get an answer? I'll give you how you get an answer. You come up with a question. You come up with a question, right? You come up with a question. The question is, what's my purpose? What am I supposed to be doing here? Right? That's the major question. Now, you got to go through a few things, maybe. Some people find it quick, some people find it late. I always say pursue purpose, not paycheck. Right? So if you pursue your purpose, it's just going to be. Now, here's the thing, that's the toughest thing. Purpose is not easy. People think, oh, well, okay, I just pursue. Yeah, it's not usually what we want to do. It's usually you redirect it to it. Another thing I often say is you don't get restricted, you get redirected. So you have all these redirections in life, right? So once you find that purpose and you run after that, everything is like a green, it's just a check mark. It'll check itself out, right? First, you got to come up with a question. The question is, well, what am I doing here? Like, what am I supposed to be doing here? It can't be just you drop me here and I'm supposed to bounce out. Like, no, right? I've done a couple of lives on my thoughts on those, but it's a whole like a live and a half. But start with asking the good questions. I don't know if you're a believer or not, but ask God. Ask God. Say, hey, what do you got planned for me? What are we supposed to do here? What do you got for me? How are you going to show up for me? Why not ask those questions from your Lord? How are you going to show up for me? Okay, so you're telling me to do this. How are you going to help me? How are you going to show up for me? Right? Those are some important questions, and give it some space and hear it out. Right? But look for the answer and the opportunity. Don't just, because it's covered with leaves and dirt and stuff, don't just walk by. Right? Walk by when you look through. And if you decide, okay, then you walk by. I was not that kind of a guy for a long time. I would just not look at opportunities. I was just always focused on one thing. And, coming from the corporate world and being in the corporate world for so long and in the mortgage industry for so long, it's a different world out here. When you look at opportunities, right, and not just have this tunnel vision. Now, it's a difference between having a tunnel vision and being focused, right? That's two different things. Having a tunnel vision is like, I'm not looking at anything else. It's because I don't want to, right? Being focused is that you've looked at things and you've picked the thing and you're focused. There's a big difference. So having a closed mind is not a great thing. So I'll leave you with this. I thought this was going to be a very short life, actually. Every time I think it's a short life, it's not. I'll leave you with this. And I've mentioned this many times. A very good friend of mine, a long time ago, asked me, what is the most expensive thing you own? And at that time, I was in the mortgage industry. I was doing really well. And I said, well, I guess my house. And he goes, well, you don't really own the house, but all right, we'll go with the house. I said, yeah, you're right. I don't own it, but okay, yeah. And he goes, no, it's not even the house, even if you owned it. I said, it's pretty expensive, bro. I haven't ever had anything more expensive than this? He goes, no. The most expensive thing you own is your closed mind. That's what he told me. And notice I said a very good friend of mine. I didn't say a scumbag. I didn't get it then. I didn't. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, I don't get that, but whatever. I think I'm pretty open. I was not, right? And until years after, and I'm like, oh, Daniel, Daniel, that sentence, right? And the good thing is you have the power of choice. You can look and choose. You know, nobody's gonna be like, oh. So be open minded, take it in, um, let it sit with you, not sit with you, get rid of it, but always look for things, you know, look for an answer to your problem in different things. Let's just say, how would this serve me? How would this help me with my issue? And then how could I multiply that? Like, how many more people have this issue I could solve with this? I'll give you an example. We do collagen, right? And one of the products we do. It's a long story, but anyway, let's just say it's collagen. Um, it helps with a lot of things, right? So when I was presented with the collagen, I'm like, what problems can I solve with that collagen? I never looked and said, oh, that collagen is expensive. I never saw it that way. I looked and I'm like, how many problems could I solve with this collagen? That's how I looked for my answer. I didn't look for a rejection. Some of you, when you look for an answer, you're looking for a no. Well, guess what you're going to find? A no. Because you're not looking for an answer. You're looking for a negative answer. You're looking for a no. It's real talk. You don't look at it as like, how could this solve my problem? You're like, oh, too expensive. Oh, it's not in this country. Oh, it's like brown. I really wanted white. It's like, what? You're looking for no's. Try looking for yeses. That's why when you look at a person, you all you see is the defaults and this and that. You don't see the good stuff. Why? Because you're looking for no's. Your mind has been trained. Switch that crap up. Start looking for the positive in stuff, people, things. It'll be amazing. It'll it'll be either, oh, yeah, that doesn't sound like a problem I would want to solve. Versus ah, ah. You're telling your mind, you're training your. Why do you keep going to the gym? Why wouldn't you go to the gym once and be set for life? Why? Because it doesn't freaking work that way. Because you got to repeat that stuff. And then you repeat this stuff in your head. No, 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 that's not. So a couple years ago, actually about 3 years ago, I decided that I would anything I'm going to say in a negative, I'm going to turn it in a positive and say it. So I'll use an example here for this purpose only. So I don't come out and say, don't do that anymore. I don't come out and say, don't eat, don't that, don't talk too much, don't. I come out and say, let's say, you probably want to consider eating this instead. You probably want to consider taking a look at this if you want to learn about this. You should take a look at this collagen if you're really concerned about your skin. I rather would have this food than that. If I'm coming out with a negative, I really stop. I think I'm like, how can I turn this into a positive and give the same response so I can constantly train my mind. That's why some of you may have had a conversation with me and know that I'm very direct, right? And well, one is because you've given me that permission. Two is that I'm very direct, and I don't sugarcoat stuff too much. And I won't buy some of the stuff you tell me. I just won't sign up for it. I'll call you out. I have. I've lost people because of that. I'm not kidding. But I don't mind it. If that person is going to lose friendship or relationship with me because okay, okay, no problem. But stop training your mind like that. You know, you tell somebody, hey, are you open to taking a look at a side business? They're like, you know what? I can't because I got 18 kids, 24 husbands, 13 wives, and 68 dogs and 24 cats. And oh my God. I'm like, okay. How's that sound if you were to ask somebody and then they told you that? It's like you asking somebody else out. You're like, hey, you want to have dinner with me? They're like, I can't because I got this and I got syphilis and I got my hair. I got to wash my hair. I got to paint my nails. I got to do this. I can't because I got to run. It's like, what okay. Okay. So is that like a no? Or, what does that even mean? You're like spinning things in your head and then popping them out. It doesn't mean anything. You're just training your mind for all this stuff to constantly come out. I'm asking you, please stop. Not with me, just in life. Just stop. Like, it's not going to help. Just train it the other way. Keep training it the other way. Doesn't mean you jump on everything you see. It's just you're training your mind to see good things versus crappy things. That's all. Right? So that's a big, big, big thing I can share with you because it's really made a difference in me. I'll tell you what, the stuff I'm going through right now in my life, the stuff that I'm going through right now, um, most of you don't know, um, and it's not time for you to know. But the stuff I'm going through right now, most people would have gone crazy times 12,868, like literally. They would not be doing lives every day. They would not be doing skits every day. They would not be doing posting daily Bible scriptures every day. They would not be doing that stuff had I not changed certain things, right? And the good thing is, I talk about this too. Good thing is you get plenty of chances to practice because the world gives you crap all day. Can I get an amen to that? The world gives you crap all day. So you can be a crap magnet. You can sit there and be a crap magnet, just, yeah, right? Or you can be like, dude, I don't want the crap. You know what I mean? It's like, stop, right? So I'm asking you not to be a crap magnet, right? Remember that. That's going to probably pop in your head. Just kind of separate this stuff. And at age 21, dude, I mean, imagine if you change your mindset, right? It's like the setting on the most powerful, like anything that you own. I don't know if you're into gaming or whatever you may be, right? It's like you put it at the highest setting available, and then you let it freaking run your world, right? And so stop being a crap magnet. Wow, that was a decent live, you guys. That was pretty awesome, and we shall definitely hit you up, bro, after this, and we'll chat tomorrow. And with that, hopefully you guys got some love, some inspiration, some value. Um, if this is your first time, boy, hopefully it won't be your last time. And I'm currently live on all platforms: Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and LinkedIn. And this will go post on Instagram, Threads, and X as well. So you guys can check it out. And on all platforms, I go with Side Gig Sean. You can follow me if you got all platforms. Let's go already. And yeah, if you feel like somebody else needs to hear this, you got a friend, you got a foe who needs to hear this, tag them, share it. Don't be stingy with my lives. I say this every night. It's like my life. Why are you stingy with my life? I'm giving you, like, share it. One person shared it. This is truth. I had somebody, I saw this, I don't know, it was a couple months ago. I was busting up. Somebody shared my live on their profile. They got 709 likes. I'm like, I don't get that much. How the did you get on? Hey, it's all good, man. Let's go. It's all good. So, with that, I am Sean Azimi. I help folks. I come from we're working 14, 16-hour days in the office, 6 days a week, sometimes 7 days a week, and to being unemployable. Go figure. To due to my pancreas, and so I still have bills and I still have to eat. So figure out a way to make it happen online, right? Do things online, and I help you the same. I help you with your impact and income at the same time using social media. And it all starts with a 5 day free run at it. Give me a freaking break, Artie. If you're up for it, if you're serious or curious, drop the word five in the comments. I got you. And with that, I am signing off until tomorrow when we do it all over again. Much love.